One and all. Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
sir.
one and all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. See, today we are going to discuss about types of motion. Today we are going to discuss about types of motion. See, can you see the board?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. See, we can see various types of motion, and that is rectilinear motion, circular motion,
Yes, sir.
periodic motion,
Hello.
and rotational motion. Rotational motion. So we will discuss one by one.
Excuse
Right?
me, sir.
Yes, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Ma'am, yes, I am Sri Shankar.
Okay, okay, I know.
Because of network issues.
I know. See, there are various types of motion. So rectilinear motion, circular motion, periodic motion, and rotational motion.
Rectilinear motion means it is rectangle like that way.
Rectilinear motion. So wait.
Circular
Say,
means circle way.
yes, okay. Rectilinear motion, circular motion, periodic motion, and rotational motion. Okay. Yes. Say, the first one is various types of motion. Various types of motion. Here, so we have already seen a vehicle on a straight road. So we have already observed the movement of a vehicle on a straight road. Then march past of a soldiers in a parade, and the falling of a stone. So here we have seen that is movement of vehicle. Then next one, that is the falling of a stone. Then third one is march past of soldiers.
Yeah, that's also an example.
March past of soldiers in a parade.
It's just
So here in this case, so now we have seen three types of motion. The first one is movement of vehicle or motion of a vehicle, then falling of a stone, and third one is march past of soldiers in parade. Okay. So
asteroid. Moving of asteroid.
Okay, what kind of motion is this? What kind of motion?
Rectilinear motion, straight.
No.
Yes, okay. Yes, okay.
We have studied this.
Here now we have seen, I already told you, that is movement of a vehicle, falling of a stone, and march past of soldiers in a parade. So Shreya, what kind of motion is this? Shreya?
Rectilinear motion.
Yes, right. Very good.
Because we have studied in the chapter like 10.
Yes. And such a type of motion is known as rectilinear motion.
Yeah, it's
rectilinear motion. So we can explain rectilinear motion. We can explain rectilinear motion. Yes. Rectilinear motion. rectilinear motion. When the objects change, when the objects change their position, when objects change their position with time, along a straight line, this type of motion,
Rectilinear motion.
this type of motion is called rectilinear motion.
Yeah.
Here, so rectilinear motion, when the objects change their position with time along a straight line, this type of motion is called rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion. Yes. Tanya, what is rectilinear motion? Tanya?
Yes, sir. When the object changes their position with time along a
Straight line.
this type of motion is known as rectilinear motion.
Rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Then Ayman, what is rectilinear motion?
When the objects change their position with time along a straight line, this is called rectilinear motion.
Yes, okay. Yes, John Sebi, what is rectilinear motion? John Sebi?
So when the objects change into a straight line, when an object change
Change their position. Change their position
with
uh,
time,
with time. Yes.
a straight line is called a rectilinear motion.
This type of motion is called a rectilinear motion. Okay. Gautam, what is rectilinear motion? Gautam. Yes, what is rectilinear motion? What is rectilinear motion? Okay.
Always straight like.
You can't able to hear my voice. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I think so he's traveling, so he can't hear.
Yes, okay, okay, no problem. Pavitra Girish, what is rectilinear motion? Pavitra, what is rectilinear motion?
Sir, when the object change their position with time,
Yes,
along a straight line,
yes,
this is called rectilinear motion.
yes, good, very good, very good. So we can say more example, we can discuss more example.
Sir, I have
Ashreya,
a doubt, sir.
Ashreya, yes, yes.
Sir, various types of motion, rectilinear motion, periodic motion, circular motion. Then is there any other motion also?
Yes, we can see
Yes.
there is a rotational motion.
Rotational
Rotational motion.
Okay, sir.
Rotational motion, Pavitra. Okay, yes, Shreya, tell me what is your doubt? Shreya.
Sir, in simple words, we can say that it moves along a straight line.
Yes. So
Yeah, that's easy. Light will travel only
yes.
straight.
Okay.
Allowing
Right. Yes. 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 See, that is next one is we can also say various examples. So for rectilinear motion, that is moving of bicycle on a straight road, moving of bicycle on a straight road. That is an example for rectilinear motion. So, and the galloping of a horse, and these are example of rectilinear motion. Okay, right? Right. So we can see various examples for rectilinear motion. I hope you got an idea about this one, rectilinear motion, right? All of you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So next one is circular motion. Next one is circular motion. So next one is
It will be the circumference.
so
and
next
like
one is
moving
circular
around the
motion. So
circumference.
yes,
It's called circular.
yes, listen here, listen here. Yes, so in order to understand the circular motion, we can do an activity. So you
Circumference.
take a stone. All of you listen. All of you listen. Take a stone and tie a thread to it and whirl it with your hand. Observe the motion of a stone. So now, can you see a thread and a stone? Can you see?
Yes.
Yes. So all of you listen. I will ask you. All of you
Yeah,
listen.
it will move like this way.
So I
So
will
the
ask.
circumference.
See, I will ask you. Yes. See here, we can this
Sir, can
one
you
and
move
this.
little bit close to the camera?
Ah, yes. Okay. What about now?
Not that, little bit close to the panel board. So
Here.
we can see the stone.
To the board.
We can see the stone. Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Ah, yes. Okay. Same. Then so now all of you see what I'm doing. So here.
Yeah, it will move the circumference.
Yes. Listen. All of you. So yes.
Move along the
So
circumference.
now you have observed. So now you have observed one activity. Now what I will ask you. Anandesh spy. What you have seen? Anandesh spy. Have you seen any activity here? Anandesh.
Yes, sir.
So what is your observation? Tell me.
Sir, the circle moved in a. Sorry, sir. Sir, the stone moved in a circle.
Ah, yes, very good. So stones moves in a circular path, right?
Stones.
Stones
Yeah, stones
moves
always moving circular.
stones moves along
Wait.
a circular path, right? Right, all of you.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Stone moves along a circular path. So that means when a body moves in a circular path, its motion is known as circular motion.
A body means like a stone, like that body, or a human body.
So which one?
What does a body means in this paragraph?
Here
Body means the
that
stone,
is when
like
a
that
body.
stones.
Yes. That here we can say, then we can consider this body. So stone is considered as a body. When a body moves in a circular path, its motion is known as circular motion, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Okay.
earth moves in a
It will
circular
move
motion.
along the circumference. It will move
Yes.
along the
So it
circumference.
moves along a circular path.
Circumference.
So yes. Okay. Shreya, yes, you can ask.
Sir, so the earth moves in a circular path, like
Yes. So
revolution.
so what is the
Rotation.
significance of circular motion? Note here, in circular motion, the object remains at the same distance from a fixed point, right? So now when the stone moves, so stone has a particular pathway, so it moves, it never changes its distance, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that means in circular motion, the object remains at the same distance from a fixed point, right?
So from the end of the thread, right?
Yes. Tell me.
So from the end of the thread, right? The stone is keeping the
It's
same.
about Newton's first law of motion.
Here,
Earth
motion of
moving in an orbit. It's
motion of a blade of an electric fan. That is an example for circular motion. then motion of seconds hand in a clock. All these are the examples of circular motion, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So next one we can take.
The next type is
So next one is periodic motion.
Yes, right.
Periodic.
Next one is periodic motion.
So we have already learned about it.
Yes. Okay. So next one is periodic motion. So let us
Yeah,
take
this
the
is
same material to describe the periodic motion.
Ma'am, it's like
Again we can take the same material. Again we
one
can
incident
take
will
the same
happen like
material
that.
to explain the periodic motion. Now hold the string in our hand and let the stone hang from it. So just like
Equally
this,
equal
so we can do the
intervals in the
same activity. And what we have to do, and this device is known as pendulum. So we can call it as, this device is,
yes, sir. We have heard that.
yes. So we
I
can
have
call it
heard
as this one instrument is known as, or device is known as pendulum. So here we can see that known as a pendulum. Yes, same. Then
Again, can you explain that once again? I did not understand.
here, so what we have to do, then in this structure, so we have to do, pull the stone. So pull the stone to one side. So here we can see there is, pull the stone to one side with other hand and let it go. You just see what the pendulum, what are they doing, or what happens when I when this in this device. So pull the stone to one side with other hand and let it go. What can we see? So we can see there is,
Yes, sir. Periodic
That's called
motion.
yes. So we can see there is a,
equal
what can we
intervals.
see?
Motion will be
Motion.
repeated in equal intervals of time.
Yes. So there is a
Called
movement
periodic
of,
motion.
stone, and which type of movements? It moves to and fro, right?
Yes, and it has a fixed interval.
Yes. So it moves from one side to,
Another side.
another sides. And which type of movements? We can see there is a movement of stone here, to and fro movement. Yes, in a regular intervals of time. Okay, in regular intervals of time. So such a movement is known as periodic motion. So how can we explain periodic motion? So here, motion,
in regular intervals.
here, motion in which,
The motion which regular intervals of time.
an object, repeats
In
its
equal intervals of
motion
That's really called the law.
after a fixed interval of time. Fixed interval of time is called periodic motion. Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
Here in this case, so now after doing this activity, we understood that. So there is a to and fro movement of the stone. So that means the stone moves from one side to another side. So such a type of movement is known as periodic motion. So
Yeah, it
how
will
can
also
we
come back.
explain periodic motion? Here, motion in which an object repeats its motion after a fixed interval of time is called a periodic motion. So we can see many examples.
Sir,
Okay.
Sir, in a clock.
Here, then
Clock is repeating.
yes, Chinmay, can you see the example of periodic motion? Chinmay,
Pendulum.
Yes, very good. The oscillations of pendulum, oscillations of pendulum. Then motion of a swing, motion of a swing. It is an example of periodic motion. Then motion of a child on a swing. That is also another example of periodic motion. A branch of a tree moving to and fro. That is another example. So all these are the various examples of periodic
sponge
motion.
You said,
Periodic
sir,
motion. Okay.
sir,
Yes.
sir,
Yes. Okay.
You go.
So can I?
So I already told you. If you have any doubt, you can ask one by one. Okay. Yes. What about Manu?
So it's taking breath and periodic motion, taking breath. Recording.
Next we can say
Sir,
yes. The last one, the last motion is rotational motion. Rotational
It's about rotation.
motion. See rotational motion here. See, when we take the case of the movement of a ball, so the motion of a top,
Just a circular path.
motion of a top, top. So here in this case, we can say the motion in which a whole body moves about an axis. Such a type of motion is known as rotational motion. So motion in which
sir, so we can say the Earth's rotation.
yes, a whole
Yeah, earth rotation.
a whole body,
This only earth rotation will.
a whole
counting the first
body moves about an axis, is called rotational motion.
Okay, okay, sir. So the best example is the rotation movement of Earth.
No.
Yes. So here in this case,
Galaxy.
rotational motion. So example is one of the example is motion of a top. That is one of the example of rotational motion. How can we define rotational motion? Motion in which a whole body moves about an axis is called rotational motion. Rotational motion.
Planets
motion.
moving around sun.
Okay, sir.
Here a motion in which
Is there
a
any
whole
other
body
example?
moves about an axis is called a rotational motion.
Sir, is there any other examples?
Yes, please.
Yes, I already told you the motion of a top.
Yes,
That is
sir.
an example
Another
for
example
rotational
is
motion.
cartwheel.
And
Sir,
the
is
movement of a ball, that is an example of rotational motion. Okay.
There is cartwheel
Yes.
rotational
Yes.
motion.
Yes,
Car
rotational
is-
yes, okay, we can say the rotational motion. Same.
Universe rotating.
So
on
now-
another universe.
Now we have seen how many types of motion. Yes.
Four.
Tanya. Yes, Tanya.
Yes, sir.
How many types of motion we have discussed today's class?
This is for
What are they? Tell me, what are they?
rectilinear motion,
Rectilinear motion.
rectilinear motion,
Yes.
circular motion,
Yes.
periodic, and rotation motion.
Yes. Okay, very good. So then, Racine, which type of motion we have discussed? Yes, tell me.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
Yes, mention the name of motion. What we have discussed there in today's class. Which type of motion we have discussed?
Yes, sir. Rectilinear motion,
Yes, good.
circular motion,
Okay.
periodic motion,
Yes.
and rotational motion.
Rotational motion. Okay, right? Yes, okay. Yes, the remaining topic we can discuss in next class. Okay, right?